Time inversion, temporal pincer, reverse entropy, grandfather paradox. Oh, leave it. Hello friends, a warm welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your friend Trudy Shoham. You must be asking why such a strange introduction to my video today. Because the film that I just finished watching this last week, it's a very strange film. It's a film that the entire world is talking about, and the film which has surprisingly polarized and divided the entire film society and the film going audience in two parts. And this is my subject of my latest video today, and the film that I'm discussing about today is Christopher Nolan's latest film, Tenet. My take on the film, what was my takeaway from the film, whether I recommend the film or not, and more on. So please keep watching. But as I say, the mandate introduction. Before I start my video today, just one request. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on the content posted on this YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the bell icon so that you don't miss any update on this channel whatsoever. Before I start with my discussion on the film Tenet, I'll just throw a random example of four random friends which you'll find in your friend circle who goes to watch a Christopher Nolan film on a big screen, and I give you four random reactions from them. The first friend, Christopher Nolan film is a bona fide masterpiece. Are Nolan Gurudev log, Nolan level director. First reaction from the first friend. Second reaction, ধুর কি হলো কিছুই তো বুঝতে পারি না, কি দেখাচ্ছে এদিকে ওদিকে যাচ্ছে, what the hell yaar, it's too difficult, I don't like Christopher Nolan. Second reaction from the second friend. Third reaction, Nolan সবার জন্য নয়. Nolan is not everyone's cup of tea. Third reaction from third friend. And the fourth friend, last but not the least, what he will say when I watch a Christopher Nolan film is, আরেকবার দেখতে হবে. I have to watch the film one more time to completely grasp what Mr. Nolan is trying to say. I have to decide for that. Now you blend all these four reactions from all these four friends in one film, you find Christopher Nolan's latest film, Tenet, starring John David Washington, Robert Pattinson, Elizabeth Debicki, Kenneth Branagh, Dimple Kabadia and Sir Michael Caine in crucial roles. In a nutshell, what exactly is the film Tenet all about? It's about an agent, protagonist, who moves back and forward in time to prevent World War III from happening in distant future. Whether he is successful in his endeavor or not, whether World War III can be averted, to get answer to that question, you have to watch the film Christopher Nolan's film Tenet in the big screen, not on the mobile screen. And what happens when exactly a Russian scientist gets hold of a technology by which he is able to invert and bend time also forms the crux of the story. That comes to the story part in simple language. But don't be in this false impression that this simple language story means that it's a very linear film. No, linearity, simplicity and Christopher Nolan don't go hand in hand. At least not from my experience of watching Mr. Nolan's movies. So, my discussion on this film Tenet, I'm going to divide Christopher Nolan's filmography in four broad terms and whether Tenet lives up to the filmography or not, or where Tenet exactly falters compared to Mr. Nolan's earlier seminal work will form the crux of the discussion. The first part, the first inherent salient feature of Mr. Nolan's film is masterful use of spectacle, grand visuals and technical wizardry. Christopher Nolan films, right from Prestige, Insomnia to Interstellar, Inception, Dark Knight series, Dunkirk to his latest film Tenet, one thing is for sure, this guy makes movies to be experienced on the big screen. This guy doesn't make movies, he creates cinema. That's the reason he's one of the most important auteurs and filmmakers of our time. I mean, Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight series, Dunkirk, Tenet. This guy is a magician when it comes to creating visuals, larger than life spectacle, and by larger than life I don't mean a Michael Bay. He's much better than that. This guy is a master filmmaker when it comes to create larger than life opulence on screen, and even this film also he does not disappoint. This is a visual masterpiece. Cinematographer Hoyte Halima, as though the editor Jennifer Lame, they do a brilliant, masterful job in this film. Hats off to them. Second part of Mr. Nolan's filmography, salient filmography, is usage of the background score, background music. Mr. Nolan, very few filmmakers in the world knows how to use background score audaciously, astoundingly as Mr. Nolan does. Inception, Interstellar, Dark Knight series, Dunkirk, this film Tenet, outstanding with the background score, and Tenet does not disappoint in this regard. Tenet boasts of an outstanding background music. And now comes the two other crucial part where this film according to me falters just a bit. Christopher Nolan film always had larger than life grand visuals, grandeur on screen mixed with subtle emotional context, emotional metaphor. Take all his previous films, Prestige, Insomnia, Memento, The Inception, Interstellar, even the Dark Knight series, Dunkirk also. All his films, apart from the larger than life grand spectacle, had a very strong, subtle emotional metaphor. This film, Tenet, unfortunately falters just a bit there. In order to lend emotional heft to the film, definitely Elizabeth Debicki's character and his relationship with Kenneth Branagh, without giving any spoilers, does give this film an emotional heft, a much needed emotional heft. But unfortunately, that comes too later in a day. Tenet eventually is a screenplay based movie. It is not exactly a subtle emotional metaphor based movie like an Inception, Interstellar, like Leonardo DiCaprio's character in Inception and his relationship with his estranged family, Interstellar, the father-daughter story, Dunkirk, even the Dark Knight series. Dark Knight was not a superhero movie, it's a very human story. This film, Tenet, unfortunately, though by design, is a screenplay based action entertainer movie. It is not a subtle emotional based movie, so that takes out a bit of emotional context out of the movie. And the last but not the least, the most important part, excuse me for that, the weather is changing, so I have to go by that. So the last part, Christopher Nolan, despite being one of the most important filmmakers of the world, is not an universally hailed master of cinema like Woody Allen, Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino and other filmmakers. He is not. All his seminal works, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Prestige, Insomnia, Memento, all his films have always had this criticism of Mr. Nolan's hyper-indulgence, and they have earned detractors as well as praisers from around the globe. I mean, Inception, critics have accused Mr. Nolan of being over-indulgent on his obsession with the concept of time, dreams, lucid state of dreaming. In Interstellar also, the same allegations were leveled against Mr. Nolan, which according to me was false, because every great filmmaker of the world is indulgent in his or her own way. And Mr. Nolan undoubtedly is a master filmmaker. Even in this film, Tenet, look at the concepts in the film, without giving any spoilers. Sator square, time inversion, time moving forward and backward. I mean, the grandfather paradox. Everything is all merged into one in a nutshell. So it might be heavy-handed for an average viewer. Even for me also, I watched the film twice to completely grasp what exactly Mr. Nolan was trying to say in this movie. But whether as an audience we are ready to accept the challenge from a master filmmaker, that's up to us. That eventually sums up my take on the film Tenet, because there's a very important dialogue in the film which says, don't try to understand it, feel it. Whether we as an audience, which is spoon-fed with narrative-driven linear cinema, whether we have the capacity to understand and comprehend and decipher what a master filmmaker is trying to throw at us, that's up to us. Whether we are able to utilize the grey matter in our brain to the tilt, that's again up to us. I did, and I would not say this was Mr. Nolan's finest work, but definitely Mr. Nolan, filmmakers of his caliber, they don't make any passable films. They make fine films in their own right, and they will stand the test of time like this film does. I would request everyone to please watch Tenet. If you have already watched, please let me know in the comment section what you have made out of this film, whether you like the film or you would not. And those who haven't, please do yourself a favor, watch this film on the big screen, because this film deserves your viewership on the big screen and not on the mobile screen, because this film is actually what we call a grand spectacle on the big screen. So that was my take on the movie. Please let me know yours, what do you feel in the comment section. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. And just one thing before I just sign off from today. This might be my last video for this year because I will be occupied with my work in the upcoming weeks. It was really nice interacting with you, and this year was special, at least for me, not for the entire universe, just for me, because I came up with this idea with my YouTube channel. Please continue supporting, and more shall we meet. And thank you so much for being a part of my endeavor. It was nice interacting with you all. More when we meet. Thank you so much. Bye bye.